Welcome back everyone dito sa latest episode ng Deep Dive. Of course, very busy kasi itong guest natin today at dahil mukhang we're running out of I don't know, like no, we're not running out of crisis to discuss. But but we're not running out of crisis to discuss, but we have limited time to discuss all of this crisis as we speak, whether sa international level, public international law, whether sa domestic level, we can talk about situation from Philippines to US and everywhere else. Marami tayong problema. Kaya today we have back with us Attorney Christina Conti. Thank you so much, Attorney, for joining us again on a weekend.
As always, a pleasure to be here.
Salamat, Attorney. So there's so much we want to discuss, but basically I want to break it down to three levels. Siguro later on, discuss muna natin yung sino bang safe at hindi. Mukhang hindi na safe si Jinggoy. Pero parang safe yung iba na ina-expect mo na hindi safe, 'di ba? At mukhang nag-ayos ng kilay na yung isa kasi baka makalusot na. Um and then of course I want to also talk about the situation. I'm back in Oxford now. So Greenland is not too far away, and as we speak there are protests there. UK and other European countries have deployed troops in Greenland to prevent potential invasion by, guess what? The US. I mean, what a world, what a world. And just when we thought yung Maduro, Venezuela was crazy, just when we thought, uh, the offer to bomb a certain country into liberation was crazy, here we are with Europeans panicking about one of their members getting invaded. But before we go there, para simplain ng discussion natin, attorney, nung isang araw, mukhang nagkaroon ng wala ka sa lolo ko situation because media just out of nowhere asked me. I thought we were gonna discuss Trump about yung ICC warrant of arrest ni Bato. I don't know if I saw the draft or I saw whatever. The version I saw looked like more than the draft to me. Pero sabi ko, sinilip ko lang yan ng mabilisan kasi ayoko i-discuss. And then isang kaibigan natin, si Attorney Fal, sabi, hindi, nakita ko na ilang minuto. Kaya tinanong ko naman si Secretary Laurent Liama, sabi ko, tinulugan mo ba siya? Nahag mo siya overnight? Kasi wala ka sa lolo ko. Nakita ko yun. So, Attorney Condi, since lahat kami nag-ano kami dito, what is your understanding of what we have been discussing for more than a year, which is Bato is logically the next step if ICC wants accountability on this issue bago natin pag-usapan si Tatay Digong?
Well, for Batos warrant, which may or may not exist as of now, there's always this measure by the ICC to ensure that it is served. Yun naman yung ultimo dun eh. Either, actually, there's another premise nga na baka ayaw ding iserve ng ICC kung sakasakali yung ibang warrant or they don't think it could be served, which is why they just announce it. I don't want to get into that, and you could get in trouble, especially if you are involved in any way or
Yeah,
capacity with the
exactly. No, no,
ICC.
no. Yeah,
There's
exactly.
the confidentiality rules, and right now, even the application of
Right.
the warrant is considered confidential. So if you break in confidentiality rules, you're no longer trustworthy. You will not be given access to anything at all. So as of now, ako talaga, we wait for the ICC to disclose it. Kasi kung ano't ano man, what we need is it be enforced. At this point, I think that the ICC knows it could still be served. Kung magkakaya pang mahuli yan eh. Unfortunately, again, it would have to defer to the politics in the Philippines, yung kung saan siya nandoon. So there's, of course, a lot of discussions behind the scenes. And at this point, I think it's not just the ICC in the picture. Kumbaga, it's not ICC, rather not in the picture, no, kundi it's not the ICC in charge. Kumbaga, wala na control yung ICC. It may or may not have given out this document to the persons in charge. Yung mga naka-in charge na parang, baka pwede natin gawin yung iba. Ano yung mga magkaka-brilliant idea? May iba-ibang suggestion. Yung iba, ang padali, ang tawag nga sa amin. Mga padalin yung ganyan. Yung isa, ang mukhang ang style what if i-announce para matakot, masantabi. So that's where we're currently at, na in-announce, tapos nag-sidestep yung isa. At ang nakakainis, kanina ko pang sinasabi to, nagpapakita naman, di ba, sa SOCMED. I've seen several photos. Kaya lang nakakainis kasi parang nangungutya pa. Yung sa labas ng barber shop ng mahal na barberya. Parang ano ba ang sinasabi niya? Here I am enjoying life and going along as ano,
Wait,
pero
nagba-barber
hindi
si
ako
Bato?
nagtatrabaho.
Nag
No, no, hindi barbershop, sorry. Oo, baka hindi pwedeng sabihin yung ano eh.
Ay, okay, okay, okay.
Mamahaling
Baka
salon, salon,
madulas
salon.
tayo. Sige, sige, sige.
Salon, mamahaling salon. Ito yung may picture siya. I forgot who, pero outside the shop. Pero maliit lang, basta parang 4 letters lang nung salon yung nakikita.
Nagba-blind
Pero,
item na tayo.
baka sabihin parang negative publicity din kasi yun eh. But in any case, we haven't seen photos of him or videos of him working. It's as if he has been on extended Christmas vacation. Na parang wala lang, o sige, bahala kayo dyan. At sabi ng Senado, even if it does not come to the Senate, he will be paid. Kaya parang mas lalong nakakainis na, ano ba to, kawawa kami, tapos ikaw, pakawala lang. And then ultimo, kung ako nagtiwala ako na sabi niya, haharapin ko yan, aba, nasan siya ngayon? Kung may kaso man o wala, kung may warrant man o wala, he has to face that head on. At sana hindi niya ipadaan lang kay Attorney Terion yung, kumaga, legal missives. Kasi yung submissions niya sa Supreme Court, I think, are way off the mark.
Yeah. So just to be clear, no, kasi ayoko rin mapahamak or baka madulas tayo or anything like that. No, no, I mean just to be clear, all of this, I wouldn't have said anything about this warrant of arrest or anything if not for the ombudsman spilling the beans the other month, right? So let's just be clear, kasi baka bago magalit ang ICC sa'yo or sa akin and all, because I don't want to also lose access, whatever. It's not like biglang nagsalita kami out of nowhere. It's because the ombudsman jumped the gun. And to be honest, I don't want to say more. Siyempre, may nakausap din tayo mga official, like what's going on. So this is not happening in a vacuum. And then of course, si Bato, basically cardboard senator na siya ngayon, di ba? Like, so it looks like he caught a whiff of maybe something is going on. And the reason why I'm talking to you about this attorney Conti is because beyond the issue of whether may nakita tayo or hindi, and obviously we want to respect the confidentiality and procedurality, kaya nga ni-remind ko na si Boying Remulla ang una nagsabi nito. So, sa akin lang parang, I was just wondering saan galing yung word na Bato, yung pala residence na Barangay Bato. So I had to ask Justice Carpio about it. Sabi niya, buhangin sila, barangay buhangin, so baka malapit. But anyway, joking aside, obviously, I'm asking you this because two things, no? Unang-una, can you remind everyone why Bato would logically be the next step? Is he like, kung CEO si Digong, siya ba yung COO? And then,
Yes.
exactly. And then number two, remember there's someone na police din dati, not a former PNP chief, and this is where operational matters come in. I don't want to say too much, but Bantag, right? Like, you know, he's from my region, Cordillera. So, and for some reason, hanggang ngayon, hindi siya nahuli. And some people are suspecting it has to do with the fact that baka may protector siya. Now, if we're talking about the senator who got 20 million votes, is a former PNP chief, right? I can imagine if si Bantag nga nahihirapan ng gobyerno, mas mahihirapan sila in the case of Bato. So I understand this is not just confidentiality, this is also operational complications. But to the degree you can remind the attorney, why isn't it crazy to say Bato is logically the next one while we're respecting the confidentiality of ICC? Bahala na lang si Boying Remulla mag-explain.
Well, because he himself has said, siya ang ama ng tokhang. Operationally, he implemented whatever Duterte had in mind. So probably the general instruction was, oh, we need something, we need a project, we need a plan, an operational protocol na matatakot yung tao. I mean, I could imagine Duterte saying, tirahin mo nga yung mga yan. I don't like drugs. And if you hear from Duterte, the time that he mentioned the nanlaban strategy was after. Nung simula, ang strategy nga kill them all eh. Parang ganun lang. Pero si Bato yung nag-template nung how to kill them. Or eventually, he perfected it. And second, he perfected it throughout years. Hindi lang to 2016 na, siya ang chief of police ng Davao. Where, and I bring in Sara, where when he sat as chief, and then Sara was, I think, vice president, Las Cañas says, was it Las Cañas Matobato? Las Cañas says that when they talked about Tokhang, yung dati nilang vigilante killings kasi yung Davao Death Squad eh. Sinuggest ni Sarah na, what if, ano kaya, imbis na patayin yung mga tao, kasi lumalabas, murder capital na nun yung Davao, what if dukutin, iwala, perhaps patayin kung saan man, ilibing doon sa mga quarry, yung Laud Quarry, o kung saan mang mass graves. So, the police report will say, they're just missing. So, yung ganong salimbayan, tapos si
Right.
Bato naman, parang, teka, paano naman ako sisikat niya? I mean, anong role ng
Oo,
police? Eh
kasi
di,
populist performative din sila nun. In the
so parang,
worst way
paano na,
possible, yeah.
tsaka paano naman kung missing capital? Eh di, napakawalang kwenta naman ng mga police. So, kumbaga, na-perfect nila yung protocol. Kaya, when it was implemented nationwide, may phases eh. Grabe yung parang akala mo nagkakandamatayan lang. Pero kung maalala nyo, kailan nangyari yung mga may cardboard? First wave yon. So, kumbaga may timplahan. First wave lang yon, first few months. Then later on, naging, hindi nga nanlaban nung una eh. Few yung manlaban, vigilante killings yung simula. Yung namamatay na lang kung sino-sino left and right.
Mercenaries, so
Hindi mercenaries. Pinapalabas nila yung mga yung mga assets daw. And the drug lords turning against each other, yung mga gang. Later on, nag-face in yung mga war on drugs killings. At ito na yung nung pumutok pa nga yung G. Ikju, Kian de los Santos, eventually nagkaroon ng parang point na, teka, ang hirap pag puro police operation na drug operation kasi nasan yung papel. Nag-face in dun sa follow-up operations. Kaya si Carl Arnaiz at si Kulot, na target or na quote-unquote na namatay na in a police operation, yes, but not a drug operation. And in a follow-up operation na naghahabol ka lang ng hold-upper eh. Yun yung pinalabas nila. Kung naghahabol ka ng hold-upper, there are less paperwork prior to the operation. Kasi kung by bust, ito yung may kailangan marked money, kailangan may coordination with PIDEA, etc. Pero kung naghahabol ka lang ng killer or hold-upper, yung report mo, ay pinaghabol kami, namatay. Nanlaban pa rin. Kaya sabi ko, it's hard to explain this from the point of view of the results. Kasi if you look at the parang, did it follow the instructions ba? Or somewhere along the line, may naibaba sa instructions? And this is where the ICC case will be most helpful para makita natin ng pangkalahatan, pangkabuuan. Kaya we really want trial to start as soon as possible. It's up to the
right.
office of the prosecutor to present that. So far, we've been seeing, kumbaga, indications, and on the part of civil society and the victims, we know one part. We know some parts, but not all the parts. Kaya, for those who have information, at ipasok ko na yung witness appeals,
Please,
if
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
if you give your information, whatever you know, to the police and sorry, to the ICC. And again, this is not just information from the victims or yung consequence, but sana information from the police, from the PIDEA, from the NBI. Sabi nga nila, even government officials who knew something about the war on drugs, if the ICC gets this information, they can process it more clearly, kumbaga, and more, I would say, independently and objectively than perhaps if you just give it to the victims. And again, the role of victims in the ICC is to give their views and concerns, not to prove the case. Kaya maski kami, waiting kami dun sa overall picture to be presented by the ICC.
So balikan natin ito. So attorney, so you agree na, I mean, so parang mag-board meeting sila, andun yung CEO, tapos etong I mean, like, like this is basically, that was the approach.
Criminal enterprise.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, some would say mafia style. So, so what you're saying is initially desaparecido style ang gusto nung iba? Yung parang, let's just make them disappear, right? Diba? Yun yung EJK sa Argentina na very notorious internationally. But someone had an idea of, oh, no, let's make this even more in your face and bloody and all because this is what people want, right? And that's why the COO makes sense, no, the operational side of this equation. By the way, what's the update on Garma and others? Because we know the Matabato and Las Cañas testimonies were very important in pinning down former President Duterte and potentially Bato soon. But Garma was pointing also in other direction. Kung may CEO at CEO, meron ka rin parang yung
CFO.
CFO,
Parang,
yes, exactly. CFO. So I mean, this is really an enterprise level operations. I mean, we're being obviously dark humor ang ginagamit natin ito, but for people to understand, this was not just like ano, 'di ba? Out of nowhere. Systematic ito eh. Kaya nga EJK eh.
so si CFO or Chief Financial Officer apparently was also involved at that ito yung pagkakasabit sa kanya at the time that the president Rodrigo Duterte uh, was hindi pa nga siya paupo pa lang. So parang May tama ba yung meeting? So in this meeting, he was present and then he was
Kaya pala.
instructed
Oo.
to coordinate the reward system. Garma's initial testimony before the Quadcom is a little bit kumbaga hazy na parang hindi ganun ka-specific. And the testimony that she will be giving to the ICC probably in more detail, uh, allegedly kausap na siya. And I would say she has to be in touch with the ICC for her sake as well. It is, kumbaga, from her point of view, it is her only hope. Kasi hindi na siya makakauwi ng Pilipinas. May kaso siya. Hindi naman siya makapunta ng US kasi komplikado yung sitwasyon niya noon. Makakapunta ba siya sa ibang bansa? Eh, nandiyan pa rin yun nga, paano yung mga kaso niya? She will be like, our favorite ba? Harry Roque, with domestic
Almost
cases,
forgot about Harry.
warrant of
This is
arrest,
the
ganun ang
first
liste.
this is the first podcast sa dami kong problema na iniisip ngayon from Venezuela. I almost forgot Harry Roque. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that.
So anyway, and why I mentioned that in a while, pero so yung kay Garma, it's her parang kind of only hope at this point. So from her point of view, that would work, and from the point of view of the ICC, that will work. That will be the best situation if she cooperates. I don't want to go into the operational details, like where is she now? Last time we heard from her was the Philippine government saying she was in Malaysia to be interviewed by the ICC. Wherever she is now, hopefully, okay ang lahat. And I'm just waiting for, alam mo yung parang redemption moment. Parang, tada, I'm here and I'm going to speak at the hearing of Duterte. And speaking of Harry Roque, ayan na. So, at this point, I would treat him as an outsider. So, he's been commenting on these many issues. I'm not sure if he's talked about the Bato de la Rosa. Pero ngayon, parang yung minimension niya, yung witness appeals, ano ang role ng mga witnesses, etc. I'm just so burdened by the fact that Harry Roque, again, I would have to treat him as an outsider, seems to be misconstruing the information available. At hindi siya, again, hindi siya part ng defense team. And from what I see and from what I hear, Kaufman does not want him in the team. He's even said publicly that Roque should, in short, shut up. Kasi, and leave. Kumbaga, he's not part of the team. Kasi naalala natin na parang si Roque was threatening or saying, suggesting that the team or the legal defense could go to the government of the Netherlands to appeal for whatever, ganyan. Yung legal defense team, parang hindi. Huwag siyang makialam. So anyway, he's been recently saying that witnesses are parang equivalent to the victims. Kaya minamash up yung number of victims and then bakit ngayon lang nagvi-victim, bakit ngayon lang nag ano to, witness crowdsourcing or witness auditions according to them. Yun yung pinaka nakakatawa kasi, wow, witness auditions, that would be the most accurate. Sa totoo. Kasi sa crowdsourcing ngayon, so thank you to the DDS, nakuha nila yung gist. Sa crowdsourcing ngayon, anybody can step up. Pero remember, sa, ano ba to, Philippine Idol, ano ba yun? Or American Idol, may semifinals. Not everybody will get to it. Kung wala kang saysay na nag-come forward, hindi ka naman tatanggapin ng ICC. And sa nakita natin sa, wag naman American Idol kasi singer lang yun, ano? Ano tayo? Philippine Got Talent, PGT. All sorts of witnesses will be entertained. At meron diyang police, insider witness who will say something what happened in yun sa instruction phase. And there could still be, yes, victims who can come forward and say, ganito pinatay. Pero again, sa ICC, okay na yun eh. Nasettle na yun, na-establish na yun. People died. Ang importante, why did they die? Who instructed it? So, I think more insider witnesses will be vetted in this round, in this search. More overview witnesses or pattern witnesses will be, kumbaga, tapped. Kasi ngayon, nagiging malinaw. Even journalists, could be kumbaga, brought before the court para makwento nila kung anong nangyayari. Barangay captain,
Oh wow, so like Patricia
kunyari,
Evangelista could like be helping he
could
directly.
be, oo.
Exactly. Oh, nice.
Although, again, depende kasi yung scope of the cases. So, we don't know, or we should not know yet, the exact 49 incidents that are mentioned in the confirmation of charges or the brief that is presented by the prosecutor. And to be clear, may witnesses na. Kaya nga kinakausap, may Garma tayo, may Las Cañas, may Matubato. This is just part of the process that we need to be thorough about witness processing. Ang iniisip ko sa ICC, tinitimpla nila yung politics. At saka tinitimpla nila yung kung anong nangyari. And ako, I welcome this as part of the 10th anniversary celebration or commemoration ba of Tokhang, of Duterte as president.
Oh, yeah,
Kasi,
yeah, yeah. This year pala.
di ba, parang
Yeah, yeah.
things have changed.
In 3 months.
Uso yung 2016, 2019 throwback, di ba?
Right.
So iniisip siguro nila, things might have changed. Are there witnesses who would like to come forward? May naiba ba sa sitwasyon nyo? O maybe now you can come forward. So mas ganun yung tingin ko kesa sa naghahanap ng pampalakas ng ebidensya. May ebidensya na po. I'd say malakas ang ebidensya. Pero ang kailangan lang, kumpleto ba?
Attorney, just nakita ko lang yung instructions by the PNP na ano kailangan ko muna ng abogado or something like that. Like what is the state of
Clearance.
Yeah, yun nga like paano mag-cooperate yung kapulisan at saka yung mga law enforcement officers na baka may alam dito. And do we have an understanding at an institutional level there is that openness? I mean, during General Torre, there was a signaling that magko-cooperate ang PNP with the Commission on Human Rights among others, but I'm not very aware about the latest state of affairs. What is your read now?
Well, flip-flopping itong PNP about that, no? Pero the worst, and I heard them, or the worst position they had was anybody who talks to the ICC will be sanctioned. May penalties, insubordination or something like that. So that was the worst kasi you cannot even entertain the idea. Now they're just saying clearance. And it's similar to the possible direction na kung naalala naman natin yung mga investigators ng ICC. Nung una, syempre nung under Duterte, I will shoot them. Hindi makakabalik yung mga yan. Ganon. Huhulihin ko yan. Later, sabi ng, I think yung most recent dun sa pag-investigate, edi pumasok sila, bahala sila. Hindi namin sila tutulungan. But they can come in as private citizens if they conduct their business as kumbaga tourists, ganyan. Di bala sila. I'm seeing that similar kind of loosening up, kaya lang nga medyo flip-flopping. Pero as to if they need to ask permission, that's a bit administrative rather than criminal. Sa totoo po, I don't see any criminal action in cooperating with an investigation. Essentially, it's an investigation eh. Again, pinapa-audition ka pa lang eh ng ICC, hindi ka pa witness talaga.
So hindi criminal liability ang dapat worry nila dito, more like
yung administrative.
You don't get ahead of the institutional leaders.
No, I'm just a little bit kumaga concerned kasi wala din naman akong absolute hold on hindi ka dapat makasuhan kasi again, kapag ikaw ay bahagi ng isang organization or kung kumbaga sino yung boss mo, the consequences are maybe too severe or too immediate, tanggalin ka agad sa trabaho, wala tayong magagawa kahit sabihin natin, hindi dapat yung katanggal-tanggal. We go to court, pero wala na sa serbisyo. So, medyo mabigat yung penalties kung administrative, but I would say it is not criminal. And ultimo, we have to study this, pero if the ang problem kasi ang phrasing nila, if the police, parang kung kunyari, ano ka, no, private employee, you'll be giving trade secrets or company secrets. Parang ganon, ano? Pero if the police will be sharing sensitive information to the ICC, parang ganon ang system ng PNP, clear it with us. We have to study further, pero for me, I'm inclined to say, whatever that is, whatever the truth is, this is a criminal matter, and cooperating with the ICC is the best way to go.
Right. Bago tayo pumunta kay Digong, just detour lang tayo sandali. Kasalanan mo yan eh. Kasi binigyan mo ako dun sa, ano yung pelikula, yung Before Sunset. Nasa Vienna na siya ngayon, di ba? Alam mo yung movie na Before Sunset, After Sun,
Yeah,
yung kay ano, Ethan Hawke, di ba?
before sunrise, before
Tatlo
sunset.
yun eh. Oh. Yung first is in Vienna, right? Then second is in Paris. Third is in, I think, in Greece, right? Kasi grabe
Yeah.
yung series na yan. Sobrang... Anyway, yung
Salitaan
Vienna,
lang
yeah,
yan
the
eh.
Vienna scenes, yeah, the Vienna scenes made me realize, oh my God, ang ganda pala ng Vienna, no? So the first time I saw it, it's like, oh my God, we always talk about Paris and no, ang ganda pala ng Vienna. So ngayon nasa Vienna na si ano si ex-human rights lawyer.
Adi umano. So he's there. Well, of course,
Did you know,
he's
Attorney Conti,
there.
there's a whole page called Di Umano. It has like 400,000
Ganon.
400,000 followers. Naging negosyo ng Di Umano. Tapos puro marites, puro mga Harry Roque
Oh!
related content. So, shout out
Sige nga,
sa
hanapin ko yung
Di
di umano as my
Umano
favorite word for
Facebook page.
today.
It is Di Umano. Okay, Di Umano. So wait. But from legally speaking, we already predicted this. So we basically told people papunta na tayo sa exciting part. But we also said na untenable yung kanyang application for asylum at saka you have yung Dublin rules, 'di ba? Kung saan ka pumasok, yun ang dapat yung applyan mo, hindi yung kung you ended up. So, we discussed all of those things 2 years ago pa, 'di ba? So where are we now based on the information we have, Attorney Conti?
His application, which was technically just lodged last month. I think he was due to submit something by December 10th or to present himself before the authorities by December 10th. Ironically, International Human Rights Day, no? Medyo mabagal ang processing. So, at this point, parang I think up to 3 months yung initial process. So, he's being qualified as, kumbaga, chinecheck kung kumpleto ba yung papeles, whatever he has submitted to the Dutch authorities, he would have to kind of resubmit or re-verify with the Austrian authorities. I just do hope that since there have been a lot of information out there about his case, the authorities consider that. And I would say any input by Filipinos in Austria or even in Europe, I would say. Oo naman, ano, hindi naman sila ganun ka. If they say that they are in opposition, today, now is the time to do so. Para makonsider siya doon sa discussions ng Austrian authorities. Kasi mabilis na lang to yung checking ng papers. Kasi dumaan na sa Netherlands eh. Pero from what I've heard, medyo pwedeng umabot ng years yung processing ng asylum. Especially if you appeal. Kumbaga may ma-reject ka man, ano? There's a process for appeal, reconsideration. So, pwedeng tumagal din ng taon.
Oh wow, like so
So,
baka ano, magsabayan talaga sila ni Zaldi. This Zaldi Harry duo.
oh,
Mag-ano kami, magpatagalan kami
pwede.
sa Europe. Grabe.
Patagalan ba?
Yeah, well, speaking of Tagalan, let's talk about Tatay Digong, right? So, back to back. Um, wala bang option si Tatay Digong to get a better lawyer or different lawyer or talagang hopeless case talaga yung case niya? So, let's be fair to Kaufman. Kasi parang straight na parang may pagka for the Siguro Liamas would say the Topacio effect or something like that. Parang zero record pa rin. Like, what's going on here?
My choice siya, of course, to choose from any lawyer from a list that he has. He has all the names of available ICC lawyers.
Including
Of
Harry.
course, wala yung even her, yes. Of course, may mababawas na siya doon. There's two Filipino lawyers at the least na on yung counsel sa kasi I'm on the other list, yung assistants to counsel. So yung counsel may two lawyers. Shout out kay Attorney Joel Butian and Attorney Gilbert Andres who already are kumbaga clearly for the victims. He would know kasi they came from the same law firm, Center Law. So, may out na doon. So, I think 900 more others who he can search. I think binigay din yung email addresses. In fact, in the application form kasi, there's a checkbox na parang, would you be willing to have your information disclosed to either the ICC, to the court, to be published, or to parang to the suspects. Pero at the minimum, they have the names. Problema, wala dun yung track record. Kaya wala yung, kumbaga, 01, 12, sabi na natin, 100, parang ganun. Kasi yung zero pwedeng parang draw. Or neither positive or negative. So, one win, two loss, ganyan. Wala pong ganun. Tapos, ang hirap din kasi, like in the case of Kaufman, from what I understand, he has been involved in some cases where he was engaged for only a period of time. So, segment. Kaya, using that, I mean, Duterte can very well change lawyers at this point kung gusto niya. And for Kaufman, it will go into his record. Pero siguro it will go into his record as I don't know kung paano mag-keep ng record. Pero for me, it's a draw, parang ganon. Walang per se panalo. Pero ang nakakatawa, yung mga Duterte camps, yung Duterte camp mismo, DDS ako ng DDS eh, sila yung nagki-keep score. For them, I think they treat it as 1 point for every request or 1 point for every decision. Kasi sa request, it's either granted or denied. So I saw some persons taking score na, o nag-request ng, ano to, yung una yung mga disqualification ng judges, zero to, zero. O nag-request ng ganito, naka 1 to. Kasi nagpa-disqualify to ng psychologist, supposedly for the experts. Oh, may 1 na tayo, may 1 na tayo. Pero so far, the running total seems to be dun sa negative side. Medyo tagibang. Kaya itong mga DDS, I think sila ang disappointed rather than Duterte. I haven't heard from the Duterte camp or the Duterte family. Pero yung mas yung DDS yung disappointed and are keeping score.
Wow. Wait lang. What about can you reject ba as a lawyer kung may nag-request ng service mo? Or do you have that kind of prerogative to reject? Yeah.
Yes. Kasi, so through the registry, so para tong registrar's office sa school, di ba? Sa registry, tatanungin ka na parang, a client has asked to meet with you or and essentially to mag-audition ka to be
So may ganun
his
pa.
or her lawyer. Willing ka ba? Ay, sorry, hindi. Of
So
course, you can
pwede,
give
oo.
excuses. I'm busy.
I'm busy is it's a very
I'm
good excuse.
busy, ganon.
It
O
works.
kaya, there's also this in the questionnaire, there's also this portion where they ask you, are you willing to represent victims, accused or defendants, or would you like, yun lang, actually, essentially, dun ka pwedeng ma-qualify kung external counsel ka. So, pwede mong sabihin, sorry, I only want to represent victims. Or as much as possible, I would like to uh, represent victims. But then, ito naman, that's the real politic. Kumbaga, pwede. Pero according to the parang code of ethics of the ICC-BA or the parang bar association ng ICC lawyers, pangit naman kung tatanggi ka dahil ay mukhang guilty. O kaya, ay naku, hindi ako babayaran ng ano. So you're supposed to represent
Yun nga eh. Yun nga.
in ano, pero hindi ka naman mapipilit din because it's a fiduciary relationship. So maybe you can just have some other excuse.
Parang you just cannot say right off the bat, ay ayoko siya or
Ay,
hindi,
oo.
gawa ka lang na medyo palusot lang. Oo, magandang palusot. Oo.
Pwede na yung IMBC.
Not parang it's complicated or like parang yung mga ganyan status. Um no, the reason I'm concerned about this is because di umano taxpayers money din ang napupunta sa mga gastos na yan, di ba? I mean, if we were to believe if you were to believe how expensive Kaufman is, and if you were to look at ano bang sahot ng isang mayor ng Davao at presidente ng Pilipinas, some people are wondering how are they sustaining the expenditure. So ako naman, as someone who cares about the umano taxpayers' money, I don't want it to be wasted on clearly something that is not working for Digong because maybe just inherently the case is impossible or hindi magaling yung abogado.
But thanks for pointing that out. Hindi bayad ng ICC ito. I remember there was
Exactly,
a
din
time
nga eh.
na,
So, saan galing yung pera
oh,
pang bayad kay Kaufman na obviously sobrang mahal, di ba? At hindi obviously
yeah.
gumagana.
Kaya bilang Pilipino, kung whether for or against ka kay Duterte o sa kasong ito, I would say that there's public interest in this because the Duterte family have no, per se, si Duterte mismo, have no known business opportunities or business outside of politics. So si Digong has
How
always
can
been
they
in
afford this? Yeah, it's a
office.
legitimate question. So
Yeah,
can you even request some information on that? By my Freedom of Information Act ba? Like, because that's a serious issue. Like, how are they affording this extremely expensive lawyer, basically a whole PR, operation, di ba? For this long. This, sobrang mahal to.
may na-check nga ako yung SALN, ano yung last na SALN ni Duterte. If I'm not mistaken, it was 88 million. I have to check Kay Rodrigo. Ah, tama ba? In any
88 million.
case,
Wow.
yeah, pesos, yes. Or maybe that is Sara's.
Kung 88
So the
million, wala
last,
na yan.
oh
Ilang
sorry,
buwan
it's
lang.
Sara.
Hmm.
It's Sara in 2024. 88.5 net
Eh, magkano
worth.
bang bayad kay Kaufman na yan over the past 2 years? Like,
Oo nga eh.
hmm.
Tapos, well, of course, sabi nga nila, oh, look at the extended family. Yan yung reason nila kung parang kung bakit nila na-excuse yung magarbong or ano ba to? Ah, yung ano, yung mamahaling gamit ni Kitty. O yan.
Bill.
Kasi
Baka naman
may
daw
bitbit na bag, may
crowdfunding. Maraming DDS
hindi, yung kay
nagmamahal.
Kitty naman, kay Hanilet. So, yung nanay daw.
Ano bang
Pero, I
negosyo
mean,
nila?
may 7-Eleven kasi si
Akala ko si Omar
Hanilet.
yun. Di umano.
Si Omar, ano ba
Di
yung kay
umano.
Hanilet?
Di umano.
Mercury Drug? Ewan ko, basta parang may ganun ding mga businesses. So, in any case, nakakalusot. Kaya, kailangan maging, ano din tayo talaga, tuso din. At saka, alam mo kung paano gumalaw yung mga taong to. Kasi, o di, makahingi naman tayo ng salin, mabigyan tayo. Pero wala naman dyan, hindi reflect wala sa pangalan nila yung totoong pera. Kaya, sabi nga nila, o nahingi mo nga, o ay ano ngayon, ang hirap lang, pwede nilang sabihin, eh, ang gumagastos, si ganito. Or ang gumagastos, crowdsourcing, di ba? Kaya, sabi naman ng DDS,
Baka
kaya namin
nag-Shopee sila.
suportahan to.
Nag-Shopee, mga ganun. Di ba? Meron silang ganun, di ba? Meron.
TikTok shop, mga t-shirt.
Meron yan. Baka may ganun pa. I mean, honestly, again, I'm using dark humor too, but this is a legitimate question. The same way na, and papunta tayo dyan, ombudsman, AMLAC, di ba? Like, tracing the money trail is very important to understand. Kung kanina nga, we were talking about CEO, CFO, you know, the money trail matters here because we have to make sense out of this. So, Attorney Connie, because I want to transition now to the ombudsman issue. I know it's late time there, pasensya na talaga. But, so what are our expectation in terms of ano yung kalendaryo para kay Digong? Are we expecting na magkakaroon ng hearing sooner than later? What are we looking at right now? Kasi wala na, purong rejected yung mga appeals niya lahat, yung mga palusot niya na kailangan ng psychologist, blah, blah. So, nasaan na tayo sa kalendaryo ngayon? Or ano yung prospective calendar date para kay Digong
Sige.
sa kanyang kaso?
Kung ako ito yung best case scenario, technically, hindi pa napagpapasyahan yung fitness to stand trial. Nagkaroon lang ng indication tayo kasi na-disclose ng maaga yung report ng experts. Pero the judges have not yet spoken. I'm expecting them to decide on this at least ma-announce yung decision this January. And we have a bit, actually yung opening ng court, may pa-session-session sila eh. Maganda yan. Sabi ko nga, oh, manood nga kaya tayo sa January 27. Ang parang, ano ba to? Judicial, opening of the judicial year. Ang uso yan sa Britain. So British tradition yung papatawag mo lahat ng mga abogado, parang ganon. Tapos, ewan ko, may speeches. Kasi ko, walang ganyan sa Pilipinas ah. Although, recently, nakita ko din, yung Supreme Court, nung nag-open, nasa ayuntamiento. So, parang it could be catching on. Ah. Totoo naman, nag-opening essentially yung work, di ba? Parang welcome to the first day. Pero yung bongga, yon yung ICC meron sa parang January 27, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I'm expecting, syempre, bongga, dapat meron silang ma-deliver. So, for January, masabi yung decision. At the earliest, kung January yung decision, at the earliest, sabihin na nila 1 month, gawin natin yung confirmation of charges, and maybe they would give a few months or so before the February i-announce mag-start or maho-hold yung confirmation of charges. So ito yung na-reset from September. Because the confirmation of charges, the decision will have to be 2 months. So second quarter na yung mismong trial. Pero kung ano't ano man, may mangyayari this year.
This year. So,
This year, oh. Hindi papayag yung ICC na sobrang madelay. At wala akong nakikita, kahit na sabi, oh, may appeal pa ng jurisdiction, may appeal pa ng ganito, o mamaya may interim release. Hindi, kumbaga yung ICC, they will decide. They have already decided on interim release. Kahit pinipilit. Ngayon, actually, ito yung pinipilit ni Kaufman, pinipihit niya yung fitness to stand trial medical reports. Kasi yung medical reports, as far as we know, no, ay sabi, okay siya. Pero payat, medyo kawawa, parang ganon. Actually, in some tests daw, underperforming. Kaya dito nga pumapasok yung sinasabi ng
long hair na siya, di ba?
prosecution. Ha?
Long hair na siya, di ba?
Long hair, oh. Ganun.
Long hair.
Pero yung sa
I don't understand what that.
psychological, ako, may point yung prosecutor na parang may bakas to ng panloloko kasi he's underperforming in some tests and it is unexplainable or hindi masabi nung psychologist bakit. Ang nakita ko, sabi,
May mga
the coin in hand test, underperforming daw doon. So it's either, it's a conscious effort to mix up the data na, bakit kaya hindi niya magawa yun? Pero overall, he's okay. Kaya lang, he's old and frail. Sabi ng defense. Kaya give credit to Kaufman naman for kumbaga being entrepreneurial.
Naman siya.
Sabi
Maganda
niya,
tayo ano dyan, may ano.
oh, positive, gano'n.
I
So,
mean,
sabi niyo,
naka-metro na eh. So, maghanap ka talaga
old,
ng mga
oh,
angulo parate.
old and with unexplained weight loss. Yun, doon siya nakalatch on ngayon at inuulit niya, oh, kung ganyan, interim release. So, kahit na-reject na yon, binabalik niya because of changed circumstances. So, I don't know kung ubra sa ICC. I don't think so. Pero, I expect a lot to be said. And, eto na. So, kung maghihiring, makikita na natin again, for the first time in so long, si Rodrigo Duterte na payat. Pero nagtitiwala ako kay Madam Zimmerman, Elizabeth, payat pero glowing.
Showbiz pa rin talaga itong yung problema, akala nila, mapapudol nila ang lahat ng tao just because they got away with it, unfortunately sa atin. Hindi nila alam may siyensya. May siyensya dito. May ano yan, may pattern yan kung may problema talaga eh. Kung fine-fake mo, talaga ma-obvious talaga yan eh. And I think this is what they haven't realized. Yung mga budol tactics nila, hindi nagagana. Kaya buti nga matalino si ano eh, Medialdia eh. Nag-gets na kagad ng first day. Parang wait lang, hindi ito. Iba to, this is serious, right? Kaya biglang the next day, ano na, naka-neck brace na, alis na ako dito. This is not for me.
Naka-ano na? Ano? Wheelchair ba o
Oh, biglang the next day,
stretcher?
isang araw, ang tapang-tapang, nasa court. Biglang the
Uh,
next day, I think, I'll pass, parang pass muna ako, di ba? Um, now, just talk about kasi ICC ang pinag-usapan natin. Ano ang latest situation with the ICC considering as we speak NATO itself could disintegrate, right? I mean, it's crazy. I know it sounds crazy. I've been to Greenland. I know how pissed off Greenland people are at Denmark. Kasi it's like, at sino itong mga Vikings na to? Basically, kasi Inuit sila, di ba? Parang, sino itong mga Vikings na to? May sarili kang magana. And you need, hindi agagana yung Schengen mo. Kukuha ka pa ng special permit para
Oo.
makapasok. So, pero ngayon, nagsama yung dalawa. Ganun sila natakot. They're scared talaga na US will do something. Parang ala Crimea, i-take over. So, this is serious. And Denmark made it very clear. Matapang yung prime minister nila, si Fredrickson. Tapos ng NATO niyan. Talagang hihiwalay ang Europe sa US if they do that. Basically, invasion yan. So, having said that, we know the ICC has been under assault and attack by the Trump administration for quite some time, and no less than the chief prosecutor, among other individuals. Institutionally, they have been also targeted. So, anong kalagayan ng ICC ngayon? And in a way, hindi kaya itong potential split ng Europe and US, hindi naman NATO disintegrating, pero clearly there's a chasm there. Baka Europe medyo matauhan sila ng konti at i-double down naman nila yung support nila sa international courts. Kasi kitang-kita mo, takot ang Europe talaga sa US. They would tiptoe around. I was like shocked when the Greek Prime Minister said, "Oh, let's not discuss the legality of the Maduro." Like, remember? Like, first of all, you'll see all of these European leaders saying, "We are monitoring the situation." Parang yun ang pinaka-safe. We are monitoring. Like, may nagko
Or we are concerned.
Oh, diba? Ang daming ganun, parang ang daming monitoring nangyayari ng bagong negosyo. Pero itong Greek Prime Minister, sabi na, let's discuss the legality later on na. Oh, ngayon, you wanna cite international law for Greenland? Pwede mo sabihin, let's discuss the legal. Yun ang problema eh. So, speaking of the ICC, of course, many Europeans came under also criticism for inconsistency in that. Like, if ICC is after Digong, no problem. But if ICC is going after a top allies leader, there are like 10 million different caveats, etc. So where are we on in the level of ICC's viability and also public international law?
Well, I think the ICC will survive at least this year, 2026, in terms of the budget, in terms of the facilities. Nakaset up pa rin naman siya sa The Hague. There has so far been no withdrawal of support by the host. So the host country is the Netherlands. Wala silang sinasabing, exit na kayo, baka bombahin kayo susunod or what. No security considerations, things are in place. So the headquarters is safe. It's just that any, kumbaga, relations with US and the US companies are, kumbaga,
And
complicated.
US lawyers, American lawyers,
And lawyers and individuals and relatives and friends, mukhang yun yung problematic. At dito na pumapasok nga yung akala natin na, ang lakas ng impact ng US. The SWIFT system, di ba ito yung sa bangko na magta-transfer ka from one bank to
society of something like
another,
that. Yeah. This is the
is a US system apparently. The
right.
alternative is the IBAN system. So pati yung SWIFT system would be inaccessible for court personnel. Parang ganun ang lumalabas. So you have to go around. Kaya what I'm seeing is correct, mag-double down yung Europe essentially kasi it's parang US versus Europe. That parang continental Europe pa nga na talagang, sige, we have to safeguard our institutions, and the ICC being an institution that is a sister of the United Nations. Yung United Nations, parang dapat yan yung pulis pangkalawakan kailangan suportado natin yan. Ang nagiging problema sa totoo lang ng ICC, if you look at it, the worst attacks have been caused or due to individuals. So, US per se, ayaw niya talaga sa ICC. Pero, through the years, parang, okay, sige, ayaw namin sa'yo, ganyan. Bala ka dyan. Pero, only when Trump is there, is president, saka yung talagang ratatatatat. Nung nandyan naman si Biden, parang, ayaw pa rin namin sa inyo. Pero, parang chill lang, bala kayo sa buhay nyo. Ganunan lang. Hungary, yung presidente nila ayaw dun sa ICC, kaya ganyan. So, the opposition the attacks come from individuals rather than quote unquote states. I know there's some principled opinions, pero if it was just the states, all you have to do is withdraw from the ICC if you don't believe in it. Pero to attack it, tao yun. Kaya dun yung problematic. Ngayon yung ICC, palagay ko parang 1 year at a time kasi they're not seeing at this point, I don't know, the Trump administration lasting after the 3 years, 4 years. Kumbaga, last na to, di ba? Dapat. Kaya lang, parang
Unless they
kakabahan
change
ka.
again the constitution allowing third term. As we speak, there's
Yun nga eh.
grabe.
Kaya
What a
parang
war.
yun yung problema ng ICC. So, baka hindi na, it's just not a matter of lasting the Trump 2.0 term, pero kumbaga, the tenure, it's not the term per se, but the tenure, kung kailan talaga siya nakaupo. So, for now, I think it's a year at a time or a day at a time ang buhay ng ICC. They have stepped up some efforts on protection. And ang nakita ko, may offensive sila in terms of propaganda. I've heard, I forgot which judge, pero a Spanish-speaking judge speak about the sanctions. It's one of the first times that the judges have spoken about.
Latin American to.
Yeah, kasi parang sabi niya, ito yung epekto, ito yung mangyayari, I am locked out of
Hindi, ito
ganito,
yung
ganyan.
kasama natin sa interview last time, yung dating chief prosecutor, yung Espanyol. Hindi siya yun, di ba? Yung sa
Hindi.
Yeah.
Sitting sitting sitting
I think you're referring to the
judge.
Latin American, I think, guy. Yeah, alam ko yan, yeah.
So, may ganun silang efforts, pero ultimately, kumbaga, countries have to protect the ICC.
Do you think that's really the way forward for like-minded non-superpower democracies to work together? Kasi nakakatakot nangyari. I mean, the implications for the rules-based international order. I mean, we never had obviously really a rules-based, but at least we attempted to
A
create some
semblance.
semblance, exact. And semblance could be a difference between, like basically a root of jungle and at least some civility, di ba? Um, but obviously now, yun nga yung sabi ko sa iba, hindi naman, yes, criticize US, but it's not like Russia and China are also like in your camp, right? So it's really us, the smaller countries, we have to work together, right? Global South, Europe, middle powers. What do you think about that?
Well, as ako, lessons from world wars, kampihan talaga yan. So, if you're small, hahanap ka ng kakampi. So, it's just a matter of kung axis ka, ally ka, ganyan. So, kampihan, if you're small, wala kang magagawa kundi maghanap ng mas malaki. Parang ganon. Para, kumbaga, lumaki yung forces nyo. So, more than, or hindi naman more than, no, kasabay ng paghahanap ng kakampi in ideology or in, kumbaga, ganun yung nangyaring hatian, di ba dati? First world, second world, ganung peg. Eh, yung ano, yung may strength. Kasi paano kung nagsama-sama yung maliliit, kumbaga, abay, kailangan mas marami kayo ng dihamak dun sa mas malalaki. So, it's not just a matter of, tama ba tayo ng pananiwala? Ganyan. No longer. It's also a matter of might, which is why the military
Collective mind.
alliances. Oh, it's the military alliances that are in play now. And I'm very concerned kung dito sa Pilipinas kasi talagang tayo yung, ipit tayo. Ang ganda ng geopolitical, yung position natin, di ba? China, US, anybody can really use the position of the Philippines right in the middle of the, hindi pala middle, parang gilid of the Pacific Ocean, which is the entry point to Asia of the US kung sakasakali.
No, absolutely. Yun nga. For me, diba, as we speak, Europe and key Latin American countries just finalized a new trade agreement. The other week you had Pedro Sanchez of Spain, Prime Minister Sanchez, because he's much more progressive than most European leaders. He issued a joint statement with Lula and other Latin American leaders criticizing the legal implications of the Maduro operation, in as much as, everyone hates, dictators and all of that. So you have all of this interesting Europe, Latin America, North, South, all of these intersections. And actually, pag sinama mo yung puwersa ng mga bansa na yan, it's not small. Like, Europe is already second largest, if not largest market, even minus UK. India is going to be the next big thing,
Yeah.
obviously, right? Brazil is not small, right? Indonesia is not small. Vietnam is not small. Kaya sabi ko, tama, US is big, China is big, no question about it. But it's not like puro pichugin lang tayo mga ibang bansa. If we just can get our act together, we can have more strategic autonomy and also we can uphold the rules-based international order. Last part, Attorney Conti, sorry.
Sorry,
Yes, please, please.
ipasok ko lang yun.
Yeah, yeah, please, please.
Yung international rules-based order, we've been mentioning that, it is parang logically, kung ano man yung pinaniniwalaan nyo, I mean, Vietnam is a communist state, di ba? But they also believe in an international rules-based order. It seems to be one of the most palatable principles for all, whatever you believe in, whatever your kumbaga, kind of dictatorship, democracy is, international rules-based order is a common thing, which is why even kumbaga, if part niyan yung international tribunals, they always come up. Laging may sumisipot na kind of court or tribunal after a conflict.
Absolutely. I would even add like Singapore, right? Even Turkey to a certain degree. Like they're countries na not necessarily, I would say, liberal democracies, to put it nicely, but they had traumas themselves. I mean, Vietnam was invaded by China, by US, by France. Like we can go on and on. Like they know what the rule of jungle means for smaller countries. Hindi pichugin ng Vietnam, but Vietnam knows. Even if hindi ka pichugin, if there's no rule of law internationally, susugurin ka pa rin ng mga big powers, di ba? So this is the situation we're having right now, di ba? I mean, Europe is not small, but now look at what's happening sa Greenland. I mean, Iran is not a weak country, but look at, what's it. So what I'm saying is, you're right. Logical kaya nga hindi ko magets yung mga MAGA Pinoy. Natuwan-tuwa dito sa like, di ko gets like if hindi ka superpower, number one thing you don't want is Machtpolitik because you don't just have the Macht, right? And the last time we had Machtpolitik, we had World War One and Two. Like, hindi ko talaga maintindihan, hindi ito computer games, right? People are gonna die. Millions will die if we go back to rule of jungle. Akala ng tao parang pamacho effect and ginagawa nilang manosphere. Yun ang problema ko doon sa mga kamaga. Ang dami pala maga Pinoy, no? Hindi ito mga
Ay,
Pinoy sa
nako.
US, mga Pinoy na nandito. Walang kinalaman. Pero maga-maga sila. Totoo mga to, sabi ko. Wala silang long-term thinking. They cannot think two steps ahead. Sabi ko, so kung sugurin tayo ng China bukas, kasi everyone was saying, oh, what if China will do to Taipei what US did to Maduro? And then I said, why are we even going that far? What if China does that to us? Kasi mas mahina tayo sa Taiwan, di ba? At least Taiwan, they're prepared. Tayo, hindi. I mean,
And they're well supported.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, Taiwan, mahirap. But Philippines, actually not that hard if ever China wants to go crazy. So, I'm just saying, like,
Ano ba? Nagka-Chinese mayor ng araw eh. Dalawa pa.
governor. Pero
Governor.
baka ma-demote na tayo to mayor at the rate we're going. No, so, that's what I'm saying. Like, people, mag-isip-isip naman kayo. So, thank you so much, Attorney, for mentioning that. Logical na mga mas maliliit na bansa, even as strong as Vietnam or whatever, ayaw mo pa rin ng rule of jungle. You don't want to be a prey for bigger powers. Last part, and importante yan. So, di na safe yata talaga si Jinggoy, no? Hindi na talaga safe.
Well, yeah, from what it seems, parang siya yung napuruhan. Siya yung napuruhan or pupuruhan. Ang problema lang, so, I mean, stepping back, whether the charges are true or not, of course, I understand that there are many feelings about it kasi may history si Jinggoy eh. And I mean, it's not his first time to be accused of these things. And his track record as senator, was he a former mayor ba or local politician, whatever. So his track record doesn't speak so well. So parang yung mga tao, oo nga, no, pwede. Kaya I think nilaglag siya because he seems to be the weakest point at this point. Problema, what if it stops there? So yan yung ano natin,
Yan ang problema, yeah.
may pain na kami, may alay na kami, okay na ba yan? Ganon. So, yun lang for the ICI and for the DOJ to kumbaga continue this work and to sustain the support of the people, kailangan talaga very thorough. At
Wait, so Attorney,
don't,
sorry, I'm cutting you there.
yeah.
Can we remind people, like, was it really realistic na by December pa lang meron ng kaso? Kasi some legal luminaries would say, no, you're looking at 5 to 6 months. Kasi ano yun paperwork yan eh. Dapat airtight yung kaso eh. Kasi kung hindi airtight yung kaso, tingnan mo yung nangyari sa Sandigan Bayan last year. Winning streak lahat ng mga, like, the ombudsman case has to be solid. Pero at the same time, of course, ay rin natin, baka may negosasyon nangyari dito, di ba? So, just realistically, was it really too much to say by December dapat may kaso na yan? Di ba dapat pag airtight, you need a little bit more time than that probably. Even given
Yes,
ombudsman has resources and all.
yes, parang may nagtanong sa akin, parang, okay ba to na gano'n? Ako, it takes months. Ako hindi, the best parang turnaround I've done on a petition, pero ito Supreme Court pa nga, hindi pa to criminal case, was about 2, 3 weeks. Talagang yung 24 hours kang halos na nagbabasa, naghahanap na. And at that point, kumpleto yung information mo. I think this was the LRT petition, yung nag-fair hike ng January 4, 2023, kaya 2020, or 20, ang tagal na. So, kung available yung information, go. Pero ito, parang galing sa kung sino lang yung nagsalita. And again, I would go back to the ICC kumbaga process, then making sure that they're thorough with their investigation. So even if at the beginning, there were a few kumbaga bombshells, you're not sure if that's complete. Tapos, ang problema pa niyan, hindi naman pala mapagkakatiwalaan. So, I really would have to caution them dun sa witness vetting. Vetting of information, vetting of character, vetting of background. Usap-usap sila, maya-maya, aatras naman. Tapos ngayon, I think they're under fire for offering state witnesshood or witnessship to some people who could be considered kumbaga, responsible din. Na parang, ganun na lang, aamin ka na, ay ganito, ganyan, magsusoli ka, kahit na ang dami mong kasalanan. Ako nga, parang, ang laki masyado ng mga sinusole for us to think of
You're
them as
talking
small
about the
guy.
Alcantara and suddenly saying, oh, hindi innocent kami. So, saan galing lahat ng all of those Lamborghinis and all of
Oo,
that?
kaya
Yeah.
parang, why are we, kumbaga, so desperate for information that we would accept the testimonies of co-conspirators just like that? Hindi natin alam kung gaano kalaki yung responsibilidad. So, ang ano nga parang necessary evil ba ito? Or maybe it would have been avoidable if we had done more work. So, at this point, sa totoo lang, I am not too sure. Yun na lang. I am not too
Yeah,
sure that we have the
ambivalent tayo.
capacity,
Yeah.
that we have the capacity to investigate actually. Ang isang naalala ko dati daw, sa ombudsman, Simeon Marcelo, he formed a unit, the Field Investigation Office, yeah? So he made sure that there were personnel talagang liberated to do investigations. And they did on the ground investigations. Well, I kind of know kasi I know people who worked in that. And on the other end, yung mga na-investigate, pinuntahan daw sa opisina. Parang, sino to? Ba't ganito? Ang ombudsman ba nag-i-investigate? Apparently, yes. So, para silang NBI din. So, maybe we should have done something more ano
Proactive?
ba, proactive, yeah.
Proactive, yeah, yeah.
And then the one layer that ako as an outsider, no, dito sa mga nangyayari, one layer or one aspect na hindi pa masyadong yung fully na exercise na power, yung sa freezing and mga subpoenas, AMLC. Kasi kung yung pera nasa
Ang
mga
tagal
bank
na namin
account,
why do you think ang tagal? Itong common sense yung AMLAC eh. Like,
ang
this has
bilis ng
been,
AMLAC kumilos
yun nga
against
eh. So,
quote-unquote terrorists na
even
mga
yung
madre.
Pogo issue before, di ba? Yung Pogo issue rin. AMLAC moved
Isa
very
din
fast
yan.
on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And to be frank, it's easy. Nakita ko na yan sa kaso ng, just to put this in. So they said that the nuns running the Rural Missionaries of the Philippines are terrorists, are supporting whatever, NPA schools, parang ganon. And they based it on the testimony of one person. Na
Wow.
parang, kapani-paniwala
Ang
ba?
bilis sila gumalaw
Totoo ba
bigla.
yan? And everybody presented parang, oh, here's the parang audit report. Here is these are projects from different organizations. Pero just because you have one person lying at that point, parang, I mean, they kind of won in a sense. Pero dito sa mga kasong to, wala wala kayong makuhang testimonya ba? Wala bang gustong mag-come forward? Wala bang ebidensya? Ako nga, eto, again, medyo layman in a sense, ha, kasi even if I'm a lawyer, hindi naman ako talaga, kumbaga, a corruption lawyer. There are some people who specialize in that. Pero yung concept na ill-gotten wealth should be measured in terms of, if you're a government official, how much you should be getting, and then how much parang have been declared as yours. Yan yung computation nila kina Marcos. The Marcoses were saying, oh, amin to, amin to, amin to. Kinumpute nila kung magkano yung kikitain ni Marcos, ng tatay, ng nanay, and so forth. Kasi government officials lang sila. Again, like the Dutertes. Kung yan yung business nyo, quote-unquote, dyan lang namin kami kukumputin. The total of the money you claim grossly exceeds your supposed
Exactly. Exactly.
parang layman's, di ba? Your supposed
Dali lang yun nga eh. It's a low-hanging
uh,
fruit which for some
salary.
reason no one was picking up. Kaya nga, medyo, I don't want to say I'm suspicious, but it's like, what's going on here? Um, Wow.
So
Attorney,
yan.
again, I'm asking you, we had other legal experts also discussing that. I know it's not your expertise, but I just wanted people to have an idea of yung time frame na realistically you can have
Ah,
an airtight case. Kaya nga, tinanong ko yan. And what I want to also emphasize here is, sige, sabihin natin ambivalent tayo about ombudsman, but clearly this is the better ombudsman than the figurine we had before, right? But no one talks about Sandigan Bayan. I mean, what's going on with Sandigan? Like, Di ba? Like, people forget, the ombudsman is the prosecution side of this. The Sandigan Bayan decides where this goes. And yet, parang below the radar sila and their job is very important.
well, we're starting on this. So we're looking at some or a few Sandigan Bayan decisions, and we're noticing some
Yung
trend
ano,
na
yeah.
parang yung decision, 'di ba, parang may tinatawag na jurisprudence na set yung cases. So, wait a bit, pero parang baka yun nga, baka ang problema ng Sandigan Bayan is not exactly, kumbaga baka iniisip, ano, meron bang nabayaran? Meron bang ganito? It's maybe because there's a
Capacity?
problematic decision, yung parang ganon.
Ah,
There's a
okay.
problematic, kumbaga, principle or
So,
established,
jurisprudential yung problem nyo.
may isa kaming nakikitang ganon
Interesting.
na parang how do you appreciate this thing. So maybe later we can disclose kung ano yung sinisilip namin.
Okay, I'm
So
glad. But yeah, you don't have to say that. Basta ang point ko lang is, bantay Sandigan ba? Like, no
yes,
one's paying
definitely.
attention to that. But I trace all of the cases from Marcos Cronies and then to be like, whoa, parang may winning streak ang mga kaibigan natin dito. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, so yon, one jurisprudential, and that's what we can do as lawyers. Pero another aspect pa yung kung meron bang bayaran dyan. I mean, I haven't heard so much about kumbaga, how the Sandigan Bayan works. Like in other courts, ito nga si Remulla na naman, parang he has admitted that
May
there is
corruption sa
corruption
judicial
up until the
system.
judiciary. So parang medyo nagulat din ako, medyo ang bigat nun kasi the judiciary also includes the Sandigan Bayan. So that could be impactful, no? Kung ganun pala na kahit
The
gaano
justice
kabigat
system
or
is the
kahit,
entire thing, di ba? I mean, because Justice
yeah,
Carpio took issue when I said justice system. Sabi niya, don't forget, justice system is also Department of Justice. It's also hindi lang yung literally yung judiciary branch of the state, di
yeah.
ba?
Oh,
So,
but I think for, what was, he said judiciary eh.
hindi justice system. He said judiciary.
Oo, eh. It's
Ah,
also corrupt. I have to check that. Pero
yeah,
naalala ko
nakita
yun
ko
kasi
rin doon
parang ang
sa ano,
shocks.
batas.ph
It's a justice system.
Justice, parang alam ko justice or baka naman medyo nadudulas yung kaibigan
Okay.
natin ngayon eh. Medyo, I mean, we started with the Remulla dulas sa ICC warrant ni Bato. So, baka ito dulas
And
din.
then parang
I mean,
i-close.
the guy
Okay.
is trying, right? I mean, okay. I mean, I'm not a fan of,
Uy, judiciary.
ay, sabi ng judiciary. Okay, all right.
Oo, so they're also corrupt. I mean, aside from the executive and legislative branches, corruption in the judiciary is also severe.
Dapat ayusin.
Yeah, actually, he points out, yung
Justice system.
Sandigan Bayan, ang galing mag-acquit niyan, ano?
Oh,
Lahat ng
see?
dahilan para
Sinasabi ko
mag-acquit,
yun ng
meron ng
matagal eh.
Sandigan
Tapos sabi ko, oh,
Bayan.
yeah, exactly. Yun nga eh. No, we're
So,
not even talking about bayaran or something like that. That you want to like institutional autonomy. Like this is something. Kunyari Heidi Mendoza, we had her on the show. She was saying, problema sa COA, pwede ka bubuli ng mga senator if you're investigating them during sa mga hearings. So it's not even about it's also muscling, autonomy. I mean, how are people even appointed to Sandigan Bayan? Well, what is the process, right? And medyo ingat ako with saying things after the contempt case last year. But joking aside, I mean, like, what is the institutional? How do we guard the guardians, right? Ano yung guardrails dyan, checks and balances?
Well, as far as I know, no, they're appointed the same way as the other justices are. So there's the JBC, Judicial and Bar Council, which vets applicants or
How is
nominees. Parang
JBC
ganon.
also select? How is JBC?
So
You get
the
what I'm saying? Like,
JBC
it will be a chain of
yeah,
questions, right?
is essentially presidential select. But, well, may
Wala akong
nominees,
sinasabi.
pero
I'm just
ultimate,
asking, we have to ask questions. Because in the
right?
US, at least dadaan ka, I mean, when Kavanaugh was appointed, I was in Washington, D.C., and the debate in the Senate were like, di ba, in the US Senate, yung tinatanong si Kavanaugh, yung nomination period, like sobrang robust yung process. I mean, in the end, he got through. But my point is, at least in the US, for all its faults, hindi ka pwede basta-basta, dadaan ka talaga sa Senado, sa
Yeah.
public scrutiny. So I was wondering, like, how is our justice system, by the way? Aren't we supposed to be patterned after the American system, for better or worse?
Well, for ours, it's a little bit different kasi parang yung US
Spanish
talaga, talagang
era.
jury system. Jury system, and it's the parang the wisdom of the ordinary person ang prevail, which is why there's a lot of emphasis on kumbaga, public scrutiny. Sa atin, medyo yung approach is there should be experts or there should be reliable persons who should decide. So there's the JBC, there's the president who ultimately makes the appointment, which is why we should be careful kung sinong
Wala akong
sineselect natin.
sinasabi.
Kasi ano yan eh, parang kumbaga, ano to, snowball. Pag kung itong inelect mo, whatever this person makes would be presumed constitutional. Kumbaga, sa mata ng batas, walang nagawang mali yan. Only if you contest his or her acts, saka lang na lumalabas. Kaya yan po yung laging problema kung bakit, at kung pala, hindi kung bakit, kung mag-uupo tayo ng mga tanga sa gobyerno. Kasi kung may ginawa siya, presumed constitutional. Kasi siya
Yeah,
yung nakaupo.
yeah, exactly.
Unless someone questions it. So, yun yung laging nakakainis, di ba? Presumed constitutional or tama, parang ganun po. So, itong sa judiciary, ganun, we have to rely on quote-unquote experts or people na trustworthy enough, hoping that they make the right decision. But more recently, I mean, in the past few years, yung JBC nagpa-publicize or parang nag-air ng live stream ng kanilang interviews. Hindi lang masyadong sikat. Pero I know
In
a few,
fairness, I mean, it's a transparency move. I mean, again,
yeah,
in
it's
fairness,
transparent. Pero yun nga,
I welcome that.
yung decision parang wala namang public vote. Wala namang audience impact. I just think that if you would oppose someone, pwede kang mag-comment, pwede kang mag-send in. Pero how your opposition is entertained, meron ba siyang negative impact o, okay, noted, ganun lang, eh, wala, hindi rin natin alam. So, yan lang ang hirap sa isang patronage political system na wala eh, bata-bata talaga to. Hanggang hindi mo yun masira talaga, ah, wala, mahirap kaya ang ultimo sa akin, edi we start from zero. Yun yung, kumbaga, whether
Ayan
rev
na, ayan na, ayan
government,
na, ayan na, ayan na.
transitional government, start from scratch.
Ayan na, ayan na. Kakasabi ko, baka maretag tayo dito. And that's where I want to end this discussion. Not end your point, but I'm just saying, like, so what's the path forward for progressives? Basically, anyone who's not Team Kasamaan or Kadiliman. February will be a big month. So in a few weeks from now, it will be about EDSA spirit. It will be about accountability. So, Attorney Conti, at the risk of not getting us red tag or something like that, like, do you think it's time to step up or siguro tignan din natin hopefully or pressure natin sana hindi lang yung isa lang hindi safe. Dapat lahat ng mga hindi dapat safe hindi safe sa judicial scrutiny, like what is your suggestion short of getting us red tagged?
Well, my suggestion is really to get our acts together, as you've mentioned, which means a lot of meetings, a lot of coming together sa whether online and pero ako I would emphasize even offline. yung mga
Absolutely.
groups. And ito yung siguro medyo Gen Z way is you go to Facebook, tapos you air your concerns, tapos parang okay, wala na. And then you look at your followers, anong sinasabi nila. That might work online, pero offline, ano ngayon? Wala namang nakumbinse. So, what we need is offline agreements. Yung talagang nag-usap kayo and then sino ang bit-bit mo. So dito magma-matter, and ako nga yung February 5 ang isa sa mga earliest ito, February 6 ba? The filing of the impeachment complaint. Dito natin makikita
Isa
kung
pa yan, yeah.
paano mag-work yung magic ng offline discussions or agreements. Ultimately, yan lang talaga, kung magsama-sama tayo, dun may ma-resolve. As
And
we've
the
seen.
ombudsman could also contribute this time, di ba? Kasi,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yung sabi nila, anong role no itong mga iba kung kailangan pala organized ka? Kasi parang, sabi, tinatanong nga ako so do I have to join an org? Well, I would recommend that. But, as we've seen during the February 25, yun naman yung medyo magic in there, with the publicity, with the, sorry, sulsol, ano ba, yung mga sinasabi sa media, yung mga nalalaman, sometimes spontaneous efforts can also work. Kasi there's really beauty in numbers. Ang problema lang talaga, as we've seen in EDSA 2, in EDSA 1 as well, or 2, ay this kind of parang sporadic, spontaneous, quote-unquote, revolutions will not last long if there are no unities behind
yeah.
it. Kaya, at the same time, kumilos, pero dapat kumilos all together. Kaya, yung ibang sabi nila, di magtayo tayong NGO, magtayo tayong groups, whatever, just come together.
On that note, the need for a unit team, a new unit team, and all that. I cannot close this without also asking you this. So, if you were to bet kung may poly market, although mukhang fake news yung site na yan, sinong unang uwi? Zaldi or Harry at the ratings are going?
Ako, Zaldi. Dapat.
Wow.
Kasi, I mean, grabe yung emphasis eh. Kasi yung kay Harry, it's out of our hands. Kumbaga, there's the Austrian government, etc. And, kasi I also kind of know him na hindi talaga uuwi yan hanggang over my dead body, ganyan. As he said, no? Pero, yung Zaldi, ako, I would want him home so that he can speak more or even be presented to court kung sakasakali.
Fantastic. Bring them home. Bring them home. Salamat. Nakita mo may ginawa rin for Maduro na version, bring him home.
Oo
Loko
nga,
talaga.
sabi ko, oh my
Loko talaga
gosh,
ng mga
galing
tao
nating
talaga.
magpauso.
Loko talaga ng mga tao talaga. On that note, thank you very much, Atty. Conti. Grabe, more than an hour easily breezed by. But balikan kita next month pag may gulo na.
Pag may gulo
Pag-usapan natin.
talaga,
Magpahinga na. Yeah, I think everyone's expecting next month will be intense, right? On so many levels. So hopefully, pahinga muna kayo and let's continue this conversation. Thank you so much, Attorney Christina Conti, for that very comprehensive, truly comprehensive discussion. God bless and have a good evening.
ingat.
Salamat.